Hi, welcome back to Jana's Beautiful Mess. I'm Jana, and this is week 7 garden tour, Friday, June 25th, 2021. We've got a few new things going on in the garden this week. We had 12 inches of rain over 2 days. Let's get into the tour. I thought that this week we could start out here from this area of the garden. If this is your first time here, this is our kitchen garden area. We have 5 raised beds out here. These 3 are 4-foot by 20-foot beds. And then there and back there are 2 4 by 8-foot raised beds. Let's get started. Starting right here are my volunteer Aussies that I'm letting go crazy. Keep hoping that they will be right every morning when I come out here, but not yet. Then here, down to the middle, are beefsteaks. My beefsteaks are stunted this year. I'm suspicious it's because of the seed that I saved. Maybe it's gotten cross-pollinated. They're all twisted. They keep topping themselves. The beefsteaks are about this tall, but everything else is about that tall. So I'm not sure what's causing that. Here we've got some of our red onions. They're doing well. We harvested a couple this week to use in salads and things. And then from here all the way down to the end are the leeks. They're doing well. This section through here, those are all orange persimmon tomatoes. None of them are ripe yet in this bed, but soon, soon, soon. So then if we come around to the other side here, this side has the St. Pierre's that are curly topped here. And then these are Valencias. They're doing pretty well. They don't seem to be getting curly yet, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm just waiting for those fruit there to ripen. I don't think this tomato plant's gonna do much else, any of these really, right here. Because it's that first cluster of fruit on each plant seems to be fine, and then you go up to the next one and they've dropped their flowers. They're not forming any more fruit. So I could just pull those and take them in and let them ripen on the counter. I'm trying to give them a chance to ripen out here, but once that happens, we're pulling those plants. These are all the red onions on this side. As you can see, their tops have started to fall over, so they should be ready to harvest really soon. And starting there, down to the end, those are bunching onions. This group of 10 tomatoes here are St. Pierre's. And this is longevity spinach. The cat was. What are you doing, honey? Are you trying to get some birds? Did they get away? I hear him. Oh, you don't have time for me. You gotta clean yourself. Gotcha. Now it's time to go to this bed, the one in the middle. It's currently my favorite bed because it houses the clementines, but we're not to those yet. Here's the calendula on the end. I think it's too shady down here for it, so it's getting super leggy, reaching for the sun. These are Cherokee Purple down to the end here. We've got some Swiss chard left, still going strong. We harvested a bunch and sent it with some of our friends the other day. These are all carrots. And here is the gloriousness. Look, it's happening. One sad thing we noticed this morning, see this split? That's where disease has gotten in. It made the vine weak and then it split. I'm gonna try to wrap it with some athletic tape. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Because there's still a lot of tomatoes on this plant. I'd hate to lose them all. We'll see if we can help. Flowers need to be deadheaded. On the other side of this bed, non-spicy peppers so that the kids can eat them if they want. This group of 10 tomatoes are mortgage lifters. They produced the most for us last year. Look at all these giant bell peppers on this little bitty pepper plant. All hiding in there. I hear a garden helper. More flowers, more carrots to harvest. These are the purple Russians. all the way to the end. So we've started to lean these down, as you can see, lower them. And as they continue to get longer, that will carry on. Hi.
Hi.
What a cool hat.
Yeah.
What is that on your hat?
It's a tiger hat.
It's a tiger hat?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you look awesome. Yeah. That completes that bed. So then we'll move on to this bed here where Raylan is. We've got an extra clementine. If you're part of the Facebook group, you'll see that earlier in the season, something completely chewed this off. There was nothing but a little nub sticking out of the ground. And now it's fully recovered. So we may get a second round of clementines out of this one. We'll transplant it in soon. This whole row here are all potato leaf tomatoes, vintage wines, and brandy wines. Lots of beets, more flowers. The eggplant here. The leaves are still looking pretty rough. It's time to spray them again. Bugs are back. But look here. Got our first little eggplant. Or what I hope will become an eggplant. There's a bloom on that one.
We hope that will become an eggplant too.
Mm-hmm.
What if the bugs eat the egg?
Then I'd be sad. Moving on to this side of this final long garden bed. This is where all of my cherry tomatoes are. They're alternating between Brad's Atomic Grape and Matt's Wild Cherry. There they are, still waiting for them to ripen. But I think I can see a little bit of orange in there, so it should be soon. That's what I keep saying, right? This is the cilantro that I let go to seed. I'm hoping that it will reseed itself for next season. These are the Matt's Wild Cherry. Oh, look! Blushing. When the tomatoes start to blush, that's how you know it's gonna be soon. Oh, I'm so excited. Good deal. Here's my jalapenos. We harvested a couple this week and used them in pico. Another little patch of Swiss chard, romaine that's left. Dylan wants to come out and pull it for his veggie burgers. So I've left it so he could pull a couple little pieces for that. Getting ready for the kill. Okay, that does it for the long garden beds. We still have our row of strawberries here. Time to move on to the shorter beds. If you watch the green juice video that I just posted, I cleared out all of the kales and lettuces and things out of these two beds in that video, and we made a green juice out of it. I left this one because it looked okay, but since then it has fallen over and decided to give it up. And so is that one back there. That one hiding in the back there seems all right. I think ants are getting to the roots or something. And then my glorious tomatillo. I don't see any actual tomatillos yet. Seen lots of blooms though. Doing his job. Go little bee, go. This is the rain gauge that said we got 12 inches of rain. Now it's entirely possible that this rain gauge is inaccurate, but it was a lot of rain. These are the ground cherries. Look, there's a ground cherry. Is it ready? I'm gonna see if it's ready. Oh, I don't think it's ready. It's not ready. I think it was just on there because it had a hole in it. And there's still just that one that I've been waiting for forever. Oregano, rosemary, mint. This is the bed that I just emptied out. Elliot apparently decided that we needed to put a whole bunch more tomatoes in there. These are all suckers that have been cut off of other plants, just different miscellaneous suckers. They all looked about like this when we first put them in. And then you water them enough after a few days. Sometimes they'll take off and decide, okay, I'm gonna grow. Sometimes they decide, nope, this isn't the life for me. And they don't, and then you pull them. Either way, they are bonus tomato plants that we made from another tomato plant. I'm going to pinch that bloom off. That way it can put down more roots before it starts putting on fruit. The only one left is this kale. As far as the leafy greens go, that's a ragged jack or Russian red kale. It seems to be doing great because I didn't leave anything but a little nub sticking out of the ground, and it's big and beautiful again. Okay, let's harvest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna leave those for a little longer. 7 beautiful ripe tomatoes. We can't harvest them without testing them out, right? Let's go do that. Okay, that does it for the kitchen garden. We'll go around back now and we'll see what's happening back there. I haven't really been back there a whole lot since all the rain happened, so we'll be discovering this together. So let's go check it out. I don't think I've ever shown you our fruit tree area in a garden tour yet. That's not looking very happy, is it? Here's the fig tree that was here when we moved in. And here's some beautiful figs. We've just been pruning it and trying to maintain it. One year when it got extremely cold, it almost died completely back. So my in-laws pruned it with a vengeance. And then Elliot and I pruned it with a vengeance this past year, and I'm pretty pleased. We opened it way up in the middle so the sun could get in there. I will clean it up a little bit more, especially down there in the base so it can get some sunlight. This big tree I bought last year and planted. Looks like the ants are trying to take it over. And this limb is not so good, but this part looks good. So I'm happy about that. This one looks like the ants have almost completely killed it, so I need to come out and tend to that. It's got some fresh growth coming out of the bottom though, probably still salvageable. This is the apple tree that was here when we moved in. There was another one there, but a windstorm blew it over. So now we've just got the one. And if I'm being honest, I didn't think this tree was gonna make it. When I was pruning on it this year, I made a discovery that the ants have moved in. Can you see that? I'm gonna get the camera to focus on it. These little guys, you see them? I didn't think it was even gonna make it this far. It's got lots of apples on it though. I love the apples. Wondering if I can take a cutting of it and start a new apple tree before this one dies. I have this peach tree here, but I'm pretty sure it's stopped producing. I read somewhere that peaches only produce for about 12 years. This one hasn't produced any fruit in a really long time. As you can see, it's in desperate need of a pruning or complete removal. I do not currently have the skills or the machinery to accomplish that. Here and here, those are both pear trees. That's also a peach tree that was here. And this is the view of the backyard garden. I'm usually standing up there on that porch. So here's a view of it from outside of the fence. Along here, are the determinate tomatoes. Look at all those guys. That cluster came through the fence. Okay, I guess I'll get inside the fence now and show you the rest. Here we are in the backyard garden. This row of potatoes are the ones that we planted from chits. These are the ones that were reused whole seed potatoes. They're pretty even now. In the previous garden tour videos, you could see a pretty substantial difference between this row and that row. And I guess this one's a little bit thicker. But as far as height goes, they're pretty even now. That's interesting. I think it's probably time to mound up the soil and stuff again. They seem like they're getting pretty tall. Here's the row of cucumbers. I believe I see a ready cucumber. Hey, Raylan, are you out here? Come here, I need your help. Go grab that cucumber right there, and I'll cut it off for you. All right, you got it?
Good.
Ready? Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
You don't seem very excited. Why aren't you excited?
I am sad, but how much prickly things are on here?
You've never seen a cucumber with prickly things on it before, have you? They wash right off. They won't hurt you. You want to take that in the kitchen for me?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Is that a cucumber? All of these tomatoes here and all of the tomatoes here and there are doing so much better. All of the rain and the straw and the pruning has really helped. Some of them are even setting fruit. Look how big and bushy all these guys are. Except for this one. It's purple. And it shouldn't be purple. I don't think it will make it. If one tomato plant is all I lose out of this patch, I'll be happy. Here is the crop of corn. Doing pretty well. Here's where all the rain came through and has washed out part of our garden. I knew the water would have to come down through here somewhere, and now I know where. Here is the squash row. This half is Black Beauty. That half is Yellow Hybrid. This row, nasturtiums, alternating red and purple. There, different pest prevention flowers, washed away path. These are onions, red onions, and then white onions. They got washed away partly as well too. Raylan's trusty pumpkin. On to the next. Over here in this craziness, it's the watermelons and the cantaloupes and the spicy peppers and some brassicas that I haven't pulled out yet. I've been waiting for the rest of the straw that I ordered to come in, and it finally came in yesterday. I'll stick in this little clip here. Luckily, they came in a bunch of big boxes, so that will help with the mulch. So I should be able to use those boxes to finish off my weed barrier, hopefully. And then I'll put the layer of straw down on top of the boxes and then lay down my vines. But they're doing well, I think. I've never successfully grown watermelons. I have no idea if they're doing well, but they're doing better than they've ever done before. So I'm gonna take that as a win. I believe these are Crimson Sweet watermelons, Honey-Kissed melons, Sugar-Kissed melons, more of the same. These are old brassicas. Oh look at my little broccoli. It finally formed a head. I won't get anything out of it, but that's exciting. It should flower, I think, and then the pollinators will love it. I'm gonna try brassicas again in the fall. I don't have to worry about the hot weather as much. Here's what's left of my kale, Ragged Jack, and that's curly kale. It's still doing pretty well, actually. I'm pretty pleased with how the curly kale performs in the warm weather. Let me go around to the other side and show you the peppers. This one is a poblano. Oh, look how big he's getting. Exciting. This one is a habanero. Look at all the little habaneros forming. This one, I think is getting taken over by some of the melons. That's a cayenne. This is also a habanero. And then cayenne, cayenne, cayenne. See them all hiding in there? And then all these brassicas. Little cabbage heads. That's exciting. I mean, I'm not gonna get to eat them, but now I know I can grow them. And so I'll get to try again in a more controlled environment. Okay, well that does it for this week's garden tour. Thank you so much for being here with me. It's my pleasure to show you what's going right and wrong in the garden. If you liked today's video, be sure and like today's video and leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell icon. When you do those things, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It shows YouTube, hey, she's putting out content that people want to watch, that people are commenting on, and she's engaging back with those people, and it really helps out my channel. So if you like what you see, please just make sure and like it, and just keep watching. I will see you next week. Bye. All right, y'all want to taste these? Mm-hmm. First tomatoes of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yummy. Okay. Goodness.
Let's turn the camera around so we can see what everybody thinks. Okay, you want to try one?
Good. It's good.
Braylon, you want to try one?
Anyway, some days I like that. Yeah.
What do you think?
Very good.
Pretty good? Good. Kid approved. We'll see what E thinks. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Delicious. Thanks for watching. Bye.